Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Anno 117 Pax Romana. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. In the last episode, we finally unlocked our tier 3, which is the only thing that's technically still allowed to get to at this point. We've also settled a new island. We have also unlocked the ability to go to Albion, which is the new region with a whole bunch of different mechanics. We're not going there today because I still have a lot of stuff that I want to take care of on this island before we do. And a lot of that's going to require a lot of coordination. So, before we get started, if you want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, you can do so by giving the video a like, by leaving a comment in the comment section down below, and of course, subscribing to the channel. Let's get to it. So there's a couple of things I want to accomplish today. We need to make a decision first. A manacled woman is escorted into your presence. She is guilty of violating the law of majesty, claiming to be a goddess and gathering followers. The Empire is very touchy about such claims, but the woman insists that she and her people pose no threat. Pay her to renounce divinity. We could execute her. That would actually be really bad. This is Nisus, though. Nisus is, I think Nisus is the smaller island. I don't know. We'll go ahead and do this, though. It's not that much money, to be honest. 10,000, I have 42, and I'm well on my way to doing other things. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. We're going to gain a little bit of knowledge at the expense of belief for just a little bit. Yeah, that's Brixia. Yeah, that's what I thought. So there's going to be a little lack of belief, but nothing too crazy whatsoever. Can I get... I can't get a Grammaticus. That's fine. Let's go ahead and say, hey, I do want to buy... We're going to say 15. There we go. I do want to buy stuff whenever that happens. We have more than enough supplies here in terms of timber, so we could actually go ahead and start selling this. I want to keep 25, and then I don't know if people even buy logs, to be honest. But we'll go ahead and say that. That's pretty fair as well. We're going to go ahead and sell a whole bunch of stuff, just in case people do end up wanting to trade with us. Plenty of sheep, not 285. There we go. We do have plenty of bread, but that's actually being brought over, so we're not going to worry about that. All right, cool. So those are going to be great, but one of the things that I want to do over here is get our M4A start working on. So we are going to require quite a bit here. Let's go ahead and get in our charcoal, because we will need the charcoal. You know what? I'm honestly fine with this because I do kind of want 2. If I can squeeze it. Or, you know what? We could just, at this point, delete these guys. I don't think I need that anymore. Now, I don't know that I'll be able to get... Okay, perfect. I will. And then we can just go right there. There's no need for this road. We're fine there. Sweet. 2 charcoal burners. That's going to be great. We still have a very positive island fire safety, so it's nothing to be concerned about there. We do need a clay pit, which we do have access to 2 spaces over here. So we're going to get those running. I am going to go ahead and branch off. That's connected now. We do need a warehouse. And part of me wants to probably go ahead and do the resin tapper over here, which I guess we do need woods for, so that makes sense. Do I have space for 2 over here, or am I going to have to find a place to squeeze it in over here? Nope. We may have to have 2 separate areas for resin tappers, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I am using up a little more than what is optimal, but, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. These islands, again, I'm not going for complete and total optimization here, folks. I am still kind of in the mode of showing you just how things operate rather than how things operate at their best. There are definitely those creators out there who min-max everything. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I will not do anything negative towards them because there's no reason for it. And then we have potters. So we will have, let's see, a clay pit. I have 2 resin tappers, and I need 2 potters. And those potters are once again going to give some positives with some negatives. We do have an income for those. Oh man, we really need some brick or some tile. Income at the expense of fire safety. And I am going to go ahead and do that. Like, absolutely. Now that does mean that once we do, we are going to need some services here. And even just a single Vigiles will... Oh, we already have one. Okay, what about a well... Yeah. Like I mentioned, we will get some brick in here. I do need kind of a big, massive payment of brick in order to make this worthwhile for us. There we go. That'll solve this problem once we get the brick in. So let's go ahead and do, well, shoot, I really need everything that I have. Let's unpause for the moment. And let's see if anyone has some brick that they can trade. We do not. You're not selling anything. You over here? She is selling brick. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get... These guys are on trading routes, so we're not going to worry about them. We're going to go ahead and get our Pentaconter. Come over here, and we're going to work on that. And then what do we have over here, just so I'm aware of what you have in terms of goods? Oysters with caviar sells for 119 denarii. That is wild. What about you over here? You on hand mirrors? Can't do that. We have lots of pigs, actually. Bird tongues and aspic. What the goodness gracious is that? That works for me. I'm fine with that. We'll be able to pick up a lot of brick. I'll pick up everything and then move her over there. It's not a big problem at all. Over here on the mainland, though, we do have a problem, and that is a lack of Libertas workforce. We really have got to focus in and hone in on these guys. And so I need to expand into a new area. And that means expanding into this rather large chunky boy area over here. And that also means building, once again, in this style, so we're maximizing our areas as best as we can. So what I want to do, and I want to do this rather delicately, I'm not going to lie, is I want to draw in... I would love to do this entire section, but I know that would probably end very disastrously, so I really want to be careful about what I choose. So we're going to go with just this first little bit here. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I did the wrong thing. I did not copy.
There is a shortage of workforce in one of your cities.
I know, it's my fault. It's my fault. Calm yourselves. Okay, cool. Whew. Also, I don't know why, but that did bring the Libertas workforce up to the positive. I did not mean to do that. That's actually so funny. I was wondering why it was turning red. I was like, nah, this is fine. This is fine. And then we can simply go across like this. And I am going to go ahead. There's nothing we've really done over here that we then can't mimic over here. And I'm going to give just a little bit of wiggle room. I'm going to punch it right there. We're able to build everything. And look at that. We do have direct access. And that should immediately start bringing people in, which is exactly what I wanted. However, our island fire safety is absolutely egregious. Let's go into the fire safety. This affects almost every single building. There we go. Let's get a well. Let's get a well. Sweet. Okay. That's at least somewhat manageable. And then again, it's going to start giving us some room. We're going to have a whole poor district of the... Because I want to make sure all of these guys get leveled up when we get there. So that's going to give us a lot of good Libertas workforce and solves that problem. That is a singular problem, of course. Is my... Nope, it's on its way. Sweet. Sweet, they did dump some of this. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get those guys rolling. I don't have anything over here. And so we are going to just do that. And that gives us a lot of good space. And it gives us everything we need to kind of take care of stuff. So we are going to start getting some amphorae over there. And once we do... Oh, believe me, I know. We're trying to solve that. Don't worry. We're going to go ahead and buy all of that, all of the tiles and just dump it over there to kind of be good for a while, as it were. Now, I don't think we have a large number of pigs. We don't. We do have a large number of sheep available to us. We need more Piliuses, that's for darn sure. So we can go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to try to set us up to be able to handle some expansion. But we do have to start worrying about getting some concrete in. That's one of my big goals today, is to get concrete. So once again, we do have this ability to satiate so much of the workforce.
Make the most of it.
What, prisoners? I didn't even know there were prisoners. Okay. Here is... Oh.
Acquisitions and human relations, in a manner of speaking.
That's good to know, because I want to kill you. We're gonna go ahead and do this as control group 1. And we're gonna gander across here, yeah.
If anyone here is friendly, it is certainly not them.
Yeah, we're not gonna extend a polite greeting. They don't deserve that. They haven't earned it. Alright, so what we are going to do is we are going to worry about starting to work on this stuff. Concrete is going to be essential for everything here. We do want to get our aqueduct up and running. We can't do that until we get a lot more of these guys, which means I have to build more people up down here, to level them up here, to level them up there, etc., etc. But we can start working on concrete in the interim. So we are going to do that. Oh, health is a big concern for myself. And what is the process? So we have 30 seconds for a limestone quarry. We have 45 seconds for a sand refinery and a minute 30 for a concrete mixer. So that means we would need 3 to match this. And I'm just going to say 2 for the sand refinery. That's not necessarily true, but it is enough to where it will still be functional. That's not what I want to do. I want to build a road. There we go. Sand refineries, I assume, have to be on the shore. Yep, they do. We have multiple shorelines. The question is, where do we want to go? So we want to go ahead and build 2 of these. That's odd. I don't think it's supposed to do that. There we go. That's definitely the direction we want it to go in. Another sand refinery. And these are taking plebeians. Do they have access to a warehouse? They do. It's not super close, though. I do wonder. It would be beneficial. I don't even wonder. I do know. And then finally, concrete mixers. Concrete mixers don't do anything, correct? Yeah, that's just health issues. That's just health or nothing to do there. Well, it says on the island gives a fortification status, which is a bit strange. But no, let's go ahead and do it here. I think it makes sense. And we are right as rain. It's okay. We'll get it taken care of. I promise. Oh, I was wondering where all of my stuff went. Let's go ahead and upgrade those boyos. And then, once again, we're just going to start upgrading the old city, is what I want to call it. Is upgrading those to be able to handle all of this. Man, those AQUEDCUTs look so darn good, though. Those buildings are fantastic. We haven't unlocked. We're almost there with the aqueduct, to unlock the aqueducts. So I'm not concerned about that at all. Going back to here, we do have 15, which is great. We need to purchase our brick or tiles. There we go. Oh shoot, I forgot to do, oh no, I did do resin. Did I not? I did do resin. Okay, cool. So we do have it here. It's just not doing anything at the moment. We're good there. I need to make sure, okay, cool. Yep, we have that. I do need some wood now, ironically enough, but I think we'll be okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure everything's going swimmingly. We do have 30 olive oil at this time now. We're going to start working on amphora, and we'll be right as rain. All right, so what do we need to do? Oh, that's right. I need 109 tiles. Absolutely bonkers here. Who is selling tiles? Let's go ahead and get this done.
Don't startle them.
Oh, that's right. I'm not in a trade agreement with her. Not in a trade, or he doesn't have any brick tiles. You don't have any either. So it does mean that I am limited. I am limited in the fact that I can only purchase from her. And she doesn't have any yet. So we're actually not going to do that. I'm going to save that 70. Oh, that's actually hilarious. So I'm purchasing from him and then immediately returning it to him. That's great. That's funny. All right, that works. I'm okay with that situation because they are actually giving us a lot of stuff over here. All right, so olive press. We do need more olives. I'm going to go ahead and build another olives thing. Here we go. And once again, we're still building into the surrounding areas because it's a lot of fun to do. And I honestly love that idea. And then hopefully we're building enough resin stuff to work on that. Very nice. Can I have to have it all at once? Okay. We need a 3 cargoed boyo. Cargo slots 4, so this is actually perfect. Let's go ahead and wait just a minute until we have the amount that we need. Here we go. We purchased that, so that'll give us enough cargo slots to be able to work on it very, very well. Who settled on yet another flippin' flapping island? I don't know, but now we're starting to see a lot more of these guys, so we are going to start pursuing them. And we are actually going against the current here, so it's going to be a little bit of an issue. Or against the wind, rather. But what we could do... Yeah, that's right, boyo. We're going to go after them, because I don't want any of that garbage on my islands. Near my islands, I want none of it. Absolutely none of it. And all of a sudden, we have a lot of fire safety issues over here. Oh, it's because of the city status. Okay, fair enough. I got it. First little taste of naval combat here. As we come right along. Fire away, please.
She's under attack.
There we go, boyos.
Neptune's finest. Ready.
Man, they fire stinking slow, don't they? Well, actually, this is kind of twofold bonus here because we get to go after some pirates
As do we.
and then discover some new islands on top of it. It's a win-win for everybody. Now we have caught the draft. Yeah, you shouldn't have stopped, dude. Sweet.
No freedom for that lot. What a pity.
We're gonna go explore because they've discovered a new island, and I swear on my life, if it's Zara, we're gonna go after her. Because I'm tired of her. I'm very much tired of her. And then... Sweet. Oh, Day Watch. So this was actually a good positive for us. The Day Watch, which is all the way down here, gives happiness area effect +1, which means we should start seeing more happiness happen across the board. Not seeing it right now. Which is fine. But I do know that we can solve at least a handful of the happiness issues by doing our wonderful little watchtowers. They are kind of lifesavers.
Construction of a ship has finished.
Very nice. Sweet. So our happiness isn't too shabby. Our health could be better. I think when they say a ship is under attack, it actually just means you're engaged in battle. Because I don't think we were technically under attack, as it were.
What could you possibly require?
Alright, so we are exchanging things back and forth, and I kind of think this has to stop. I do wish there was a condition here. If we go back into our trade, I just wish it was conditional, like options, wait for goods, no. We could actually, is it really only one? Oh my sweet mercy. Okay, we are going to wait for goods. And then we're gonna unload, and maybe that will cause a little bit of a difference. But the thing is, like, we don't have the space for that because of how they have operated. So we are going to start waiting for those goods. And now we're just gonna do really small increments at a time. That's fine. Unload as much as you can. Because now they can't even pick up stuff, and that's a big issue for me. And to be honest, let's see, what is their consumption of everything isn't necessary either. Let's go ahead and do one quick thing. Let's get our depot, which will vastly expand the amount of goods they can hold.
Neptune's finest. Ready.
Oh, no, it didn't work. Why are they still not picking up? There we go. Please unload everything from now on. Establish the route. And so the same needs to kind of happen here, I guess. I don't know what they have. I guess they don't have anything. I guess we're okay. Okay. Never mind. I guess that's still working. That's still profitable. Is it still profitable for him? For the most part. And so we still need to do the same thing here. So this is one of the advanced settings that we can do. Is we can say, hey, I want you to wait until unloaded. Ship will wait until it's completed all unload orders for this station. So we're going to do that, which means he will wait to be completely unloaded before purchasing. And then wait until all goods are ready to be opened. Yes, absolutely. All right, cool. I just want to make sure we're efficient and we're not wasting cargo space, because eventually what I want to do is I want to do this and say, hey, I want you to pick up amphora, and then I want you to unload it here. And I want you to wait for those goods. Now, we don't need to do 50 amphora. To be honest, we could just do 20 for both. Because otherwise we might be wasting a lot of time. Sweet, cool. Wait to unload, completed all unload orders. Yes, we will do both of those. We should be right as rain to establish that route. All right, cool. So it's just a manner of making things as efficient as possible to prevent hiccups. Because hiccups are no bueno. Nobody likes hiccups, and it doesn't work out well for anyone. Going over here, we do have some concrete, which is great. We are missing out on leveling up some people, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to finish out this
An aqueduct could provide water naturally and
little
food,
cube
a
there.
stupendous sight. This may be worth your attention.
Sweet. To distribute water, you need an aqueduct source and a mountain slot, the aqueduct itself, and also an aqueduct cistern that will distribute water to its vicinity. Water can only be distributed downhill. Choose a mountain slot high enough to transport the water to the lower part of the city. Water is a limited source. All buildings around a cistern benefiting from the aqueduct will consume it. Check the aqueduct menu when you can manage water consumption. All right. We might need to move. We might need to move a boyo. And that's honestly a rather high place to go from. And there's not a lot of elevation. So I'm probably going to want to start here. Holy cow. This is going to be a monumental thing. So I guess where do we want the ending part is my deal. And where we're probably gonna have to move a lot of stuff to make this happen. Which means it's gonna cause a great disturbance. Actually, we could go in from here and minimize that disturbance. I'm just gonna go ahead and place this here. I don't think we actually get the benefit of the cistern until we have everything plugged up, which makes sense. So yeah, this is gonna cause no little disturbance. It will actually be a pretty big one. Let's just do that for now. Move it there. Ship still under attack?
Neptune's finest.
No, it's not. We'll stumble on the guy's island down here in the corner. It's the only corner we haven't experienced or explored yet. But yeah, no, so that's going to cause quite a bit. We are going to go ahead and move this guy as well. But I think we can move him there. And I think we can get our aqueduct. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's going to look so stinking good. And then we are just going to hug this outside corner. Can I go across here? I can. Oh, that's going to look fantastic. Let's do... Unfortunately, this looks not great. It looks like there is a little bit of an issue here in connecting these guys. Darn it. All right, so just another small issue with the diagonal service here. Maybe I can remedy it. Because I really do not enjoy that crookedness. Oh, I see what it's saying. It's saying, okay, I need to come at it from a different angle. I need to have this stuff be last. Because it needs to know the angle in which I'm coming in for the cistern from the source. I wonder if it's not high enough. We're completely in planning mode right now. I think that might be what it is that it hasn't been high enough. So that's as far as it can go then. Okay, well that's a big problem. I'll be completely honest. No, I just think it's wonky. I think that's what it is. So I think what I might have to do is I may have to cistern it right here. It just really doesn't like that connection. It really doesn't, which you would think, oh my word, this is a bit difficult. A little bit frustrating. I guess it's just gonna have to be ugly. But lordy, do I not enjoy that. I guess that's not awful. I just really don't like this corner piece here. And I wish there was a way that I could fix it. Okay, that's not awful. That's not terrible. I can live with it. I can deal with it. It's not a problem. Alright, so we do need some concrete. I wonder if anyone actually sells concrete. So we need it desperately enough to where I would pay a pretty daggum hefty penny for it. To the point where it might bankrupt me just a little bit. So we're going to go, for instance, because it is 70 something dollar or denarii. It's quite a bit. We could... I want to buy a minimum stock of 15. That's going to be about 1,000 denarii every time it happens. Now we're making that up, almost that in a minute, so I'm not uber concerned. But we are going to have to be mindful, of course, of just what all the expenses are going towards. All right. No problem. We need more brick. I need to take all the tile. I keep saying brick. It's tile. It is tile. We have 70 there. We have 80 total. There's 9 more. So we... Oh, my word. 109 tons of tiles is absolutely maddening of a volume. absolutely maddening. We're not going to do any of that stuff.
So Praetor.
We're trying to pursue these guys.
Under attack.
Yeah, see, it's definitely saying it's under attack when it's not under attack. It's definitely them, which is fine. We could go ahead and get a Legio 2, which is a trireme. That would actually probably be beneficial to us. I do want to work on other things, though. We could get a theater. Oh, sweet mercy. That looks fantastic, and it would fit right there. They would be affected. We're gonna move it right there. Congratulations, you're getting relocated yet again. And we're gonna start seeing this restructuring that's gonna start happening anyways. That's inevitable. There is nothing we can do to fight it. There is no use in fighting it. Okay. We could place it right here. So we are going to move them once more. There's a spot over here that I'm not using for anything. There we go. And then we can totally zoom that up. I have no doubts we can find a space for these people. I mean, even on the outskirts here. Don't really want anyone so close to my province here. Here we go, right there. It's a great spot. We are going to relocate. We're going to relocate those people, or this building, rather. There we are. Will I need to do that? I won't. We can totally have it right there. That actually looks pretty flippin' grand right there. I wonder which way. Is this technically the right way? I think it is. And then we can totally decorate this area a little bit once we get it all filled in. But for now, I'm just going to bring that right there just to kind of complete that road, as it were. There is no water supplied. I do understand that. I do understand that it's necessary. What do we need here? We need more tiles. All right, we are doing good. I do want to continue to find that new island that someone settled. And then we're building another trireme so we can kind of establish our dominance in the area and fight back the pirates, because they are an issue for me. Once again, we're not under attack. It is very misleading. We are working on legionnaires. Man, we're really moving, aren't we? I love it. I absolutely love it. We're doing okay here. We're not doing fantastic, but we are doing enough to where we could benefit from either religion or a grammaticus. But I'm not sure about both. I kind of am leaning towards religion only in the fact that it does get us a boost to some of the areas that we're using. Only olives and olive oil, though, so that's not really beneficial for me. That doesn't benefit me anywhere. Okay, cool. Nope, we're definitely going to go with the Grammaticus. Gain us just a little bit more knowledge to be able to do that a little bit better. Holy Moses. There are ships flipping everywhere. We're going to go ahead and take these dudes out, hopefully. Hopefully. And just start pirate hunting. Pirate hunting is the name of the game. I do wish they would catch up a little bit faster. There is tech. Movement speed, unfavorable wind impact. We're going to bump that up next into the queue because we are not going to be able to pursue Zara at this point. But for multiple reasons. One, I don't have enough people over here. I need more people there. We need more people pretty much everywhere. And it's just not going to work. But you can see how we had this very, I won't say basic formation, but very standard formation. And we're already going to have to start revising our entire cities. And that's where you're going to start getting with these types of people. You're going to have that happen. It is inevitable. So I want you to be aware of that. And I also want to make sure that we are providing the best services. Let's go ahead and sell So that way we're always going to have space for this stuff. Good. All right. And then we have olive oil. We have amphorae. So I really need to just... I need them to dump that. Wait until it is loaded all goods for the station. Activated, the ship will wait until it's completed all unload orders for the station. Yes, I want you to save it. So she should have saved. Cool. There we go. Ship is trading, which is great. I love it. And I need to make sure that this... We need to make sure that this is happening as it's supposed to, because it just seems like it's not happening. And also our income's starting to go down. We need to be aware of that as well. Oh, I see the issue here. We'll just throw it overboard. Because they're not getting rid of everything. I gotcha. Okay, the game freaked out on me. Said I had something abandoned. Go ahead and pick up that stuff. What is that? Oh, timber. Oh, boy. So we're going to see what the other islands are. We're going to try and get a space to be able to start taking on more of these ships. And that's going to become a larger part. Is actively against pirating. And then surprising people like... Oh, he snuck past. That's rude. But we're making non-stop trades. You're seeing this happen repeatedly. So I'm providing a benefit that works. I am 28 minutes there. We have 16 more tiles. We need 20 more to complete this. Trade there. Continually dump off there. We have 4 tons of tiles to do. We'll be able to complete that before the end of today's episode, which is also very nice. Yeah, we're starting to hemorrhage. Residence and area of effects is the biggest issues here. Well, I think... What does that provide us with? Health and fire safety. And then... This provides us with happiness, knowledge, and prestige. So we're starting to lose a little bit of income. We're going to have to start bumping up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
Irrigation is the basis of all things. Without it, we would almost certainly starve.
All right, good grief. This is a monumental thing. I mean, absolutely monumental here. We are in a wild time at the moment. Let's go ahead and get back into normal speed. I do need to start bringing these people up as well. So yeah, we're just going to mimic entire districts because it works well for us right now. I don't think I could pull this off, but we're going to try. I'm in my brain trying to figure out how this works. It's too much. Yeah, it's too much, which is fine. We are going to instead drag just this section, and then I'm going to do my typical 10 away. There we go. Hopefully engage in all of those practices. Start really working on our plebeians and things of that nature. Get our happiness boosted. Get our grammaticus going. Which should start increasing our production. Let's take a look here real quick. We can still use a couple of... I guess we are still getting the Pilius Felter. Sweet, cool. That works for me. What's up with our trade route? let's take a look at the ship. Where's the ship at? So we should wait till it's loaded. We wait for goods, and then we unload it there. But what's wrong? Ships have to wait a long time at this station. The good to load and the good to unload do not match. What do you mean? It does, it actually does match. I don't know what you're saying.
We stand waiting.
Oh, it's the same darn issue. Okay. Yes, I am happy to waste it because I just don't care anymore. Yeah, they have a very, very low threshold. Is basically what it is. So we are going to, what does our lavender look like? So I want to make sure that our production's well. Sweet, we have more than enough. So what I'm actually going to start doing now is you are going to wait until it needs to be unloaded. And then you're going to wait for those goods to come and make them bought. Cool. That is how we will do everything.
So Praetor.
We're just going to dump everything for the time being. And the issue is that we don't have sandals. Okay. See, this is the life. This is what we do to manage our logistical supply. Oh, that's actually the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I wanted to promote plebeians, not the other way around. Because we need more sandals. We need a higher production of everything. We don't have pigs. We have very little leather, and now we don't have sandals. So we are no longer... Actually, we weren't selling it, were we? No, we weren't selling, which is fine. That's the renderer, which is rendering soap. And I do believe we actually have a decent amount of soap. Yeah, we've got a good amount of soap. I'm not worried about that. But it is pig, or it is the sandal makers that are causing the logistical snafu right now. So I am curious where we should drop this dude. We're not going to mess with any productions here. Awesome. And once again, 30 of that. Do we have a lot of salt? We actually have a decent amount of salt to the point I'm not going to worry about it. We do need more tanneries. And then as a result, we also need... I'm only going to build 2. Because I think that should be enough to satiate everything. Now we do obviously need to wait for this to pop up and make it work. In the meantime, we are going to go over here. In the other meantime, we are going to purchase what I would assume is the last 4 tons of tiles. We can only do 3 right now. We'll wait for just a minute. Alright, we have found the pirate stronghold. Unfortunately, it isn't something that we could really blockade, at least not right now. We could potentially throw stuff over here. Definitely can't take it on at the moment. But yeah, look at that. This does look really good. I will admit. Really, really gorgeous setting. But yeah, so we still haven't found the other island, which I assume is now over here. So we'll continue on there. We still don't have enough tiles here. Sweet, we finally do. Sweet. Alright, so we've completed that.
I'm impressed, Governor.
Yeah, you better flippin' better be, because it was absolutely ridiculous. Alright. We are going... Man, I really want to start taking on a lot of these guys. But we can't really do anything for now. We have more troubles at home that I'm way more concerned about in vastly more important areas. So, we are going to continue our way through here. And I simply just need more stuff than I have. So we'll be back in just a tiny little bit once I have basically fulfilled this. And it will take a little while, but I am daggum determined to put this aqueduct up in this episode. So, stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a good handful of minutes, but it's complete. And not only that, we've also completed our theater. And that looks so flippin' magnificent. I absolutely love how this looks. It looks great. Even this transition here isn't that bad. I am totally okay with it. So we have our entire aqueduct system. It is fully functional. It costs an arm and 2 legs in order for me to make it. But what you'll notice is that this has actually gone down a significant bit Our island happiness has skyrocketed thanks in part to the cistern and the theater. Our island health has actually increased quite a bit. You can see from the aqueduct, from the soap, and from the olive oil as well. One of the things that I noticed in the interim is that we have started losing a lot of income. And the reason for that is, once again, tunics are in short supply, as well as sardines. So I've been working on those a little bit as well. Let's see, do we still have sheep? Sheep is still a bit hit or miss, but you can see now that tunics and pileuses, like, it's non-stop in terms of the demand for what's going on here. So I am half tempted to expand this just a little bit and start working on our pileus, on our tunics rather. I guess we can't because that's hemp. We could work on our pileuses, and in fact, let's go ahead and do that. And this, well, we only have a 2 cargo ship. Oh no, we don't, we do have a 3. So from here, I want you to start getting pileuses. I don't want 50 of them. I only want 20 at a time, and then you're going to unload it. We're gonna work on that there. So that's gonna work well on that front. On the other front, we don't need any of this stuff, I don't think. So working with those isn't necessary. We did have a large chunk of our, I guess I did just build everything, so that's why. But we have non-stop trade. And when I say non-stop trade, I do mean quite literally, like non-stop trade. So I'm not concerned about it. Now, we will solve this issue, and once we do, things will be back up to normal. But one of the things that I do want to see what else we need is we've actually unlocked quite a bit here. So while we do have wine, and we can certainly find a place for that, what would wine satiate? Quite a bit. Income plus 3. Holy Moses. That is, okay, that's income plus 1, but the satiation of wine itself is a lot. So I'm definitely going to just place that there. And then we need a vineyard, which means we need a new island. We need an apiary. Now, we can settle here, so I probably will do that in the interim. But once again, like, I really want to get into the warfare element, but it is taking a long time. And that's just the simple nature of the game, I think. I think it's just, it's not easy to support an army. It's not easy to utilize them as best we can. We could actually go ahead and do another workforce. We are going to encamp here for a moment. I could actually bring in a lot more people now that I have them. But you can see the maintenance cost is almost 100 denarii. So I want to be careful how we use it and how well we utilize it. Just to kind of potentially bring these guys back, because
Well, look what
I bet she would. We have a lot more naval power. We're pretty on par with prestige and economic power though, so I actually don't know that she would do a treaty. But I definitely would do a war declaration, and I think we would definitely be able to dominate. Right now, they only have a lot of civilian ships, not anything else. And so we could take them out because they are expanding like mad, but we're not going to, again, do that yet. What I am going to go ahead and do, though, I am going to go ahead and get some archers in the queue, so we can do that. And then the encampment reduces their cost as well, so we're good on that front. But basically, we're just in a really solid spot right now. Yes, there are some pain points, of course. Why wouldn't there be? But I think overall, we're in a good place to handle all the stuff. We've expanded into our new area. We are working on our old area. Honestly, I could start expanding into here if I wanted to. We do have disease, as you can see. So we're not perfect by any definition of the term, but we are getting there. Now, one of the fun things is that we actually can't fulfill cheese until we go into Albion. We can fulfill togas, though, which requires flax and a snailery, but you can see the process here. 1.5 minutes for the flax, 1.5 minutes for the snailery, 2 minutes for a weaver, 2 minutes for a dye works, and then 1 minute for a loom weavery. And then the brooches are also something that cannot be done here. They have to be done in Latium. So we are getting to a point where we desperately actually have to have Albion in order for things to work. So we will be expanding into there, just not sure when. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me for this episode. I do appreciate it. We will continue the series. I'm not entirely sure how far at this point. I feel like we're in the point now where we can start working, where you guys have figured out how to handle things, and I may be able to transition out of this series and into one where I'm doing more on guides. I'm still working on them and prepping them for release when it's a little more of an optimal time. But we'll have to see as we get there. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Look at that. That is a gorgeous image right there. I really like it. So if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to let me know by giving the video a like and by subbing to the channel. Of course, leaving your comments in the comments section. Thank you once again for watching. I hope this has been super helpful so far. This is Havoc. I'll see you in the next one.